Things got very interesting for the St. Louis Blues after multiple line changes and one notable name being added in. This signifies Jim Montgomery making a huge push to make a statement. But not only that, with one Blues prospect absolutely dominating the OHL, we can look into how bright the future for this team is moving forward with multiple prospects showing out. Darius, we have so much to break down in this episode. You're not going to want to miss it. So let's just go straight into it today. And before we get into these line changes that have a lot of fans talking, let's dive into one prospect in particular that has been turning heads. Now, looking at this, we got a tweet from Alan Walsh speaking on Adam Jiricek on November 8th, saying that he's 1 point over a point per game, 16 points in his 15 games, and on pace for a 70-point season. Now, looking back on this, things have escalated quite a bit where we do see Adam Jiricek with 24 points in 20 games. Darius, just going into this, what is your thoughts on Jiricek after coming off a injury-prone season that we'd seen the year before, showing his dominance in his second year?
Yeah, this is his first full season with Brantford. So obviously, when you look at last year, he put up some good numbers still. Obviously, an injury-riddled season, so he missed some time. But again, this is his first full season in Brantford, so he's more comfortable this year. He's going to put up a lot of points. This is a good team, probably one of the best teams in the country at this point. They also just traded this morning, at the time that we're recording this video, for Jet Luchenko, who is one of the best prospects coming back to the OHL. So they're almost guaranteeing themselves a spot in the Memorial Cup, which is some really good stuff. So they'll be great. They're going to continue to be great all year. He's going to be great. He's going to be putting up a lot of points. So hopefully he can play in some meaningful games, and they do go all the way. We'll be watching that with great interest all year. So really good start for him so far. And, I have high hopes for this player that he's going to be able to translate all of this to the pro level. So really good start, and hopefully they get into some really meaningful games in May and April.
And I mean, the biggest thing is even looking at the OHL leading defenseman score, and we can see multiple guys on the list. There's a lot of great guys, but Adam Jiricek sits number 4 on this list and also third in goal scoring. 4 defensemen and third going through. This is the kid that's going to continue getting better. The right-handed defenseman. We spoke a bunch about him being a future piece that can join this team. We know Logan Mailloux is supposedly going to be the power play quarterback, but you have a Logan Mailloux light coming through, and listen, we hope he's not a -12. But the biggest thing with Jiricek, getting him on this team in the future is going to be fun. And listen, we'll keep you up to date with a bunch of prospects. Let us know down below before we continue who's your favorite prospect not on the Blues team. Let us know that down in the comments. But Darius, let's keep going through on this, where we know the St. Louis Blues are heading into New York, or playing New York tonight, with the Blues playing the Rangers. Wow, a bit of a stutter there. But the biggest thing is the Blues came off a dominant win versus the New York Islanders. And I know a lot of people said, hey, a 2-1 win's not dominant, but you shut down a lot. We've seen them blow the leads. They held the lead and came in through with a big game, but we do see multiple changes from that game. The big one coming through, we know Logan Mailloux joining the team. We're going to touch on this. We see Sundqvist coming in for Bukestep, but Darius, I think the biggest thing to touch on right now is the fact that Jim Montgomery is giving the trust to Logan Mailloux to come back into the lineup. We see the quote from Jim. He feels good about his game, got a lot of touches, got a lot of minutes. Now he's excited. You can tell just by the way he's skating out there and the smile on his face. What is your thoughts on Logan Mailloux coming back into this lineup?
I said it when he was sent down. This was a good opportunity for him to play a lot of minutes, to get touches, and to feel good about his game, because when he was last with the Blues, everything he did, everything he touched was a negative. And you're not going to feel good about your game if that's the case. And I don't care what level you're playing at. You need to get some positivity back into your life. You need to get some positivity back into your game and feeling good about yourself. So that's exactly what he did down there in the AHL. Again, the plus minus thing, Springfield's not a great team still, right? We have to take that into account. But he was getting touches on the power play. He was playing a lot of minutes, all of these things, and he has experience at the AHL level. So just building that confidence back up, and now he's back in the NHL, and Jim Montgomery is being very complimentary of him, whereas before, he didn't come out and call him out specifically, but there was nowhere for him to hide. The team was not playing well, and they were not able to shelter him. So I'm excited to see what he does in this new stint, but I have to say, it makes sense at this point. And all these things that they're saying this morning, they're great to say, but I want to see it put into action, that's for sure. But I think that it all makes sense. You had to feel good about yourself. You had to go back down, get some touches, your confidence back up, get the minutes back up, because everything that he did at the NHL level before he was sent down was a negative. And you're not going to be able to turn it around that way. You need a break. You need to reset mentally. So hopefully that's what this was for him. And we'll see where he ends up on the impact score chart after the game tonight because the Blues are headed to Broadway.
And I think the biggest thing is, listen, you come off that 2-1 win versus a playoff team in the New York Islanders. He has to go out and give a damn. I'm not saying he doesn't, but he has to make a damn statement on this game that he deserves to be in the lineup. We know how good this team can play when they're gelling. So get in Logan Mailloux, and on the third pairing, it does get interesting where we do see Jim Montgomery speak on it. We think Falk and Fowler have the ability to rise the levels and make the young guys better. More complete pros with the game management of the bench and all that stuff. So we do see them splitting them up, because I think the biggest thing is we've seen them thrown to the Wolves quite some time. We've seen that third pairing at one point being Tucker and Mailloux. Not saying they're bad hockey players, but very young, inexperienced players playing on a team that was struggling is a recipe for a disaster. I mean, that's the best way to put it. But going through, we even see Logan Mailloux speak. Nobody wants to get sent down, but no, I think it was good for me to play in some minutes, play in all situations, just kind of get my feel back and my touch back. I'm happy to get back and get going. This is a guy that we see a lot of people in the comments even speaking on. We know what he was brought in. He's the power play quarterback of the future. Getting him on the power play is something this Blues team has to do. They have to give him the leadway to play his game. An offensive defenseman that does make some boneheaded plays at times, but still he can go out, throw hits, he'll get into it, he'll fight, he'll do whatever it takes to stay in this lineup. But Darius, do you think it's getting to the point where, yes, the Blues need to win games, but you just put him out there and let him play his game?
Yeah, I would. And I said this a couple of videos ago too, that you have to put this player in the best position possible to succeed. Why is he not on the power play? They should just do it at this point. What do they have to lose? I understand earlier in the season, maybe 10 games in, you could be like, okay, it's a little bit earlier. We're over 20 games into the season now. You have nothing left to lose. Let this guy do what he's best at, which is playing on the power play and trying to put up points and getting those touches. So why not put him in that position? Again, if you get scored on shorthanded, it might have happened anyway at this point. So I'm very excited to see what he does in this next stint, that is for sure, and how Jim Montgomery, the usage of all the players, I should say, in the lineup, because things have changed. You got some players back from injury now. Obviously, with Jake Neighbors, he's continued to look good, which is encouraging as well. So I want to see what the defense can do in some of the usage there, because the other thing too, the other night, right before Logan Mailloux was recalled, Broberg played almost half the game. So that's something to keep in mind as well. He's playing a lot of minutes, so they have to manage that as well. You can't do that over the course of the whole year. So it'll be interesting to see how they kind of manage it. But to me, you got to put, with where the Blues are at right now, you have nothing left to lose, right? Again, I understand if it was 5 games into the year, no, you got to shelter the young guy, right? All of that stuff. I get it. Now, with where they're at now, try something. Try it. He's good at it. Play to his strengths.
And I mean, the big thing is, listen, the goaltenders were not helping out the defense. But I mean, looking over the past 3 games, the goaltenders have looked outstanding. On 88 shots against, they've saved 81 shots. They allowed 7 goals with a .920 save percentage, 2.46 goals saved above expected. Darius, just going in on this quickly, what is your thoughts on this defense? We know they're starting to pick up. Jelson Falk has looked like his prime self again, which is insane to even say. But what do you think on the goaltending now that they're starting to go in? And do you think this is the perfect time for them to get Logan Mailloux in?
Well, it had to turn around at some point. I don't know if it really affects Logan Mailloux and vice versa, because it could end up poor again, like it was earlier in the year. But they've been playing some really good hockey as of late, the last couple of games. And you had a feeling that it had to turn around. Of course, it doesn't have to, right? But you had the feeling that, like, hey, like Binnington didn't forget how to be a goalie overnight. And same with Hofer, right? So you had a feeling that it was going to turn around, but it was something that they had to address. And it looks like they have, and they have been playing better. And again, we were talking about it in our last video, like that win against the Islanders is something to build off of. It really is, because it's a game where you, A, didn't give up a lead, B, there was a low scoring game, and C, you won the game, right? Like, that's good news. So continue to build off of a performance like that, especially if you're Binnington, to build off something like that where it's a low scoring game and you were able to defend your lead. I think that's something that, again, you can build off of. So I feel really good about them moving forward, if they can continue to string some wins together. And if they don't, we know what the plan is. The parachute, pull out the parachute, because guys are going to start getting traded. So at least there's something to look forward to in terms of some moves if things don't improve. But I do think that the goaltending at some point had to turn around, right? It just had to. I don't think it could be that poor all season, because both of their numbers were looking horrendous. I think Hofer had like a 700 save percentage, or he was in the 700s. So you knew that had to turn around in some way. So it's all good news right now.
But I mean, Blues fans, what is your thoughts? First off, what's your thoughts on Adam Jiricek? Do you think he's going to be poised to join this team in the next season or two? What's your thoughts on Logan Mailloux coming back in the lineup? What's your thoughts? Who's going to win this game tonight? Let us know all your thoughts down in the comments. And speaking on comments, let's go straight into comments today. Coming from Ace Rob, one of our top commenters on the channel. I'm shocked how good Dvorsky has been on the faceoffs, and that's the crazy thing. What felt like a guy that was going to join this team as a winger has come in as a full-time second-line center, which is incredible to see. But fans, let us know your thoughts on everything to do with the Blues down below, and you could be featured on Comment of the Day. Way down there, leave a like, subscribe, share this with your friends. We'll be back in another episode to keep your eye for that. But I've been your host, Mark, with my co-host, Darius, and